You've all heard the term, beggars can't be choosers. That is correct. If you're a beggar, you can't be a chooser. So which are you? Are you begging or are you choosing? Because that makes all the difference in what you desire to manifest. And I'm going to share with you a success story from a new client who did just that. She went from begging and looking for her limitations to receiving and actually enjoying her desired end. Welcome, my name is Rose, and welcome to The Rosey Life, where we help you free your mind and follow your heart so you live a life that you love. If you're interested in working one-on-one with me or joining the Rosey Life coursing community, you know what to do. All the information is down below at RoseyLife.com. If you are interested in joining the 6-month Platinum Coaching Program that begins November 15th, you can also find that information on my website now, or you can reach out and email me if you have any questions. All right, so I was watching some movie or something, and the person that was, or it was a TikTok or something, I don't know. But anyway, it was the server, I think it was a flight attendant or a waiter, was serving someone, and they said beggars can't be choosers. And I thought, damn, that is a accurate statement. Because if you are a beggar, if you see yourself as the bottom, and you see yourself that you don't have a choice, and you see yourself as somebody that's limited, that doesn't have a lot of options or have free will, or you think that you're stuck and you think that you're in a situation that you can get out of, you're right. You can't choose. So let's move you out of that begging state and into the choosing more today. So here is the story that I want to share with you. And she said, oh, by the way, you guys, thank you for subscribing to the channel. And thank you guys you guys are so freaking awesome. You guys have my back. I got an email today from one of you saying that someone is using my audio. In other words, you're using my voice, and they have a picture over it, and that they're using my audio, and then they're putting a picture of themselves on it on a YouTube channel. So thank you guys for giving me a heads up, because I don't know about this stuff unless you guys share it with me. But it doesn't matter. There's only one and only here, and this is OG. I don't have any other channels. I have a podcast, but I don't have any other channels, okay? So living at home with dad, this was her situation, okay? She was living at home with dad, and she was unhappy, she was broke, and she was playing ping pong with her limiting beliefs. I thought that was hilarious. She said, Rose, I'd find one belief and I'd be like, got it. And then another one, and got it, and got it. She was just like, we were laughing. We're just like, yeah. It's like ping pong with all the limiting beliefs. Because you guys, if you look for a limiting belief, you're going to find not one, but thousands. So how about right now? I just emailed a client back right now, just a few minutes ago, telling her the same thing. I said, you don't have limiting beliefs. You have zero limiting beliefs. So stop looking for them. All right. So with limiting beliefs. And then after finding the Rosey Life, okay, so she was working, I guess, with some other coaches or channels, working on limiting beliefs, working on her self-concept, and she said things were getting worse. And she said after finding the Rosey Life, she started asking herself, instead of looking for limiting beliefs, she stopped that and shifted over to, how does God see this? And I love this. I love this. How does God see this situation? How does God see what I'm looking at? And so she began to say, I choose this version. In other words, fill in the blank. I choose to live in the city that I want to be in. I choose this version. And she said, at times though, even though she was choosing, she says, I get it. We have to choose. No matter what we look at, you say, but I get to choose. And she said, at times though, it felt like she was walking over a bridge as she's choosing. She had this image she shared with me that she was walking over a bridge as she's choosing her desire, right? But that there was many times there was like all these lions on the sides of the bridge, and that they were roaring at her. And she said it would feel scary. And she said, this felt like my doubts and my thoughts and my feelings. I just began to see them as those roaring lions. And she said, I would say, no, they can't bite me. and they can't hurt me. So she said they're just roars. So her thoughts, doubts, feelings became just roars. She said they're just roars. They can't bite me. They can't get me. They can't stop from me from having what I want. So she really focused on, I can choose love or fear, which is, I'm paraphrasing, I'm not quoting, paraphrasing Course of Miracles with this, because she also mentioned this, but I can choose love or fear. Ego does not see sin as lack of love. This is important, you guys, because the ego, which is all fear, all right, it does not see fear, doubt, worry, shame, guilt, anxiety, lack. It doesn't see any of that as lack of love. It sees that those things are real. So the moment that you decide to see, wait, these feelings, this doubt, this scary feeling, this, what I'm looking at, these circumstances, right, is just a lack of love, that I'm not seeing love. I'm not remembering that I am loved, that I am fulfilled, that I am abundant. So these feelings or thoughts, they are lacking love. And the ego, it doesn't see it that way, so that's why they feel real and strong, and why many times you'll just fall for your feelings, okay? So, but you can change. You can choose love or fear. You have a choice. Don't ever feel like you're stuck. You always have a choice. You can choose love or fear. The ego holds on to fear, and it's smart. This is a paraphrasing from A Course in Miracles. The ego holds on to fear, and it is smart. But you can see and choose love. In other words, choosing love means you choose your wish fulfilled. That's what that's saying. Okay, that it's your wish fulfilled. You can choose fear. You can choose to believe these fearful thoughts and feelings, or you can choose your wish fulfilled. And fear, right? And the fear melts away. When you choose your wish fulfilled and you choose love, that love that is in everything, the fear will melt away when you identify that fear as, this is lack of love. This is lack that I'm feeling. This is lack that I'm thinking. This is not the true me. And when you identify it from that perspective, those fears and doubts and feeling of impossibility or feeling like you're crazy, all of those fears and doubts and thoughts, they melt away when you see them as lack of love, lack of the truth of who you are. So she now lives in California, where she wanted to be, doing a job that she loves. She's like a producer for a reality television show. She said, Rose, it happened in a couple months. And everything that I wanted to move, and I got it. I found the way, the money, everything just started unfolding. And now her session with me was, she wanted to move higher. She says, I want more money. I want more freedom. I want to do other things. And that's what we talked about. But going back to this topic of beggars can't be choosers, it's accurate. So if you hear that, you're right. I can't be a beggar and a chooser at the same time. So if I'm a chooser, that's all there is. I'm no longer in begging. In other words, I'm not asking or pleading for something outside of me to give me something. And in John 9, 140, it's a story about the blind beggar. And the blind beggar metaphysically represents the one who has no perception of his own capacity. In other words, his own power. So that's what the blind beggar means. It's like you're blind to your perception is blinded to who you really are. And so you turn to begging, asking, pleading, because you don't know who you are. You don't see your own power. And you're just asking and begging and pleading and hoping. Do you see? And asking how and when. That's all like a little birdie almost in a nest saying, you know how they open their little beaks. It's like begging and hoping for something to drop in on them. Do you see? It's like you're not a beggar. That's the whole story of begging in the Bible, in the metaphysical sense, is that it's like you have no perception of your own capacity, your own power. your own unlimited abundance that you are for everything that you desire. Asking for because you don't have is different than claiming because it's all yours. Do you hear that? Asking for because you don't have feels awful. It feels like you're stressed out, you're anxious, you start questioning if you're doing something wrong. And versus claiming because it's all yours. In other words, you're withdrawing from the bank account of all that is. You're saying, I'm withdrawing from my bank account of all that is. I choose, like this client, said. She says, I choose this version. I choose this. And it's not, how does God see this situation? If you're struggling or if you're feeling lonely, how does God see this situation? Well, as God, out of my bank account of all that is, I'm withdrawing this. That's different than asking because you think you don't have. And if you continue to say, but I don't have it, that's why you don't have it. Do you see? But claiming because it's all yours is different. So if you see yourself as a beggar, in other words, asking from not having, you can't choose. You can't choose from that identity as a beggar, from the person that's saying, but I don't have, I've never had, where's it coming? Where's it going to come from? Choosing is implying I have a choice of what I choose to be. So choosing is implying when you get to choose, you're saying I have a choice. Versus you saying I'm asking because I feel like I don't have and I've never had it and I don't see it. I can't touch it. I can't smell it. I can't taste it. Those kind of things. But you're saying I have a choice from my bank account of all that is, which is God, that divine perfect mind of everything that exists. You are withdrawing from that bank account by claiming it and saying I am this. I have this because I'm all of it right now. I hope you guys got a little nugget of gold out of that video for yourself. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to The Rosey Life. Thank you for sharing my content. Thank you guys for having my back. I love you guys so, so much. You guys are all so freaking amazing. I love you, and I will see you real soon. All right? Bye.